to tie into like parenting and how economics works into how everyone treats their disciplines their children differently. So yeah, and the goal for this week is to keep this egg alive and bring it every single day. And I feel like I've done a very good job on it because everyone has a cracked egg except for me. I'm pretty sure everyone does because I know that Leslie broke hers earlier, which is tragic, very tragic. So next I want to talk about maths. And a few weeks ago we took celebrations, which was a test to see like how we did on the unit. And so for the first test, I think I did a very good job. The only problems that I inquired was for this first question. It was asking how these triangles were similar to each other, and I saw that these two triangles were similar because this is scaled up by 3. But this is a triangle scaled. This triangle is just this triangle times 3. And then but what I didn't see was that this triangle DEF was the same. They're all similar to each other because this is scaled up by 3, this one's scaled up by 2, and then this is scaled up by 1.5. And another problem that I inquired was this question. So in this question, it was asking you to find the tangent for the length of a tree, and the only problem that I had was it said your eyes are 5 feet off the ground, and I didn't add that additional 5 at the end, therefore I didn't get the answer correct. And then, so we took a retest on this, and in this one we only had to do 2 of the questions. So for this, it was talking about similar triangles, and so it gave the height of one of the sister spider, and the length from each mirror to the bottom of each spider web. And I feel like I did a really good job using similar triangles to find the missing angles. And I also did this question was also looking for the tangent, but the only thing, again, because I learned from this and I was like, oh, you have to add the height. And in this one, it said Kate and Dawn, which are the 2 heights, are both 5 feet and 7 inches. So what I did was I converted that into inches and I added that to the end product. But learning from my mistakes, she put, since the 2 people are the same height, they would cancel out. Therefore, you didn't have to do it in this question. Tricky. And I also brought my maths portfolio, which is a collection of the work that we did during this whole unit. And I really tried my best to explain like what I did this week to improve my goals, which were focus on extensions, work on my leadership roles, and connect all of my math works to physics. And I feel like I did a really good job explaining what I know, how I've learned, how I've worked in groups. I also, in this week, week 6, we learned how to do ray diagrams. And so I really connected that to the similar triangle works that we were doing because the ray diagrams for the angle of incidence is the same as the angle of reflection. Therefore, you had to use similar triangles to find the lengths of the reflection. And I also explained how I believe I would deserve an A on this unit, and I did, so I'm very happy about that. And I also have a checklist of how I met all of these goals of the checklist. And then for physics, I brought in my stereoscope. This is the first draft, and we saw that it was too wide, so the eyes wouldn't fit well into these into the stereogram. And so what a stereogram is a device that takes 4 mirrors and taking 2 images taken at 2 different angle points and creating it into a 3D image. And so this is the first draft that we did, and we saw that it was too wide and also the mirrors didn't fit well into it. So we tried making a second draft, and it errored in the process of making it. But seeing that like the mirrors fit, it would work as a stereogram still. And the reason why I brought this was because I feel like I've done a really good job being a leader in our group, because most of the people that I'm working with, they don't really pay attention in class, and they mostly rely on me for doing the work, but I've made it so they also understand why we chose to make this product, and how physics ties into our work. So I have enjoyed all of my classes so far this year. I feel like all of them are very fun. They all include a fun aspect into it. And also I really enjoy the topics that we're learning about, because making optical devices isn't something that you do in a regular school. And I feel like taking that physics and taking the math and combining them into making a product is very, very fun. I think the egg project is really fun as well, because it's kind of nerve-wracking to bring an egg everywhere that you go, but it's also very fun to see like, oh yeah, my egg is still alive and yours isn't, and I enjoy that. And also in Spanish, I feel like I have a really fun time, like, because I said it's fun to like learn a new language, because you get to see like how their language is different than ours, and see how our language is different from others, because in Spanish they don't use conjunctions like don't or isn't, and so it's very cool to see how other languages are spoken. So the clubs that I'm involved in are Young Leaders in Healthcare, Student Ambassadors, Science Olympiad, and there's one more. I forgot what it is. Oh, and I'm also a 9th grade senator for ASB. And for the Young Leaders in Healthcare, I'm really interested in going into the medical field. So I feel like that's really fun, like seeing how people in the medical field see their work, and like showing us how they work, how they help people. And actually at the last conference that we did, they brought in a transport team that helped transport sick children into places that need more help, that have more high quality work that would benefit the child. So I feel like that's really cool, and it really helps me see that I want to be in the medical field, and it's something that I really think I should pursue in my future. So